My life is at risk, guys. I'm sorry. I believe they have found me. Okay, I believe they know where I live. It's not worth it. Seriously, it's not worth it. I wish the British native English people good luck. This is, your country, your ancestors, whatever, this is your heritage. They fought for this country. I've done my part. I'm sorry, I don't feel safe in this country. This is supposed to be UK. I'm supposed to feel safe here. I don't feel safe in this country.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. In this video, it's going to be an unusual one. I woke up today, I looked on YouTube, and I saw there was a channel that I'm aware of, that I watch the content of, that has deleted most of its videos. They've gone. They've just vamoosed. And instead, there was a live stream that I saw this morning, and this YouTuber was explaining how, because of certain threats, actual death threats, that this person had been receiving from Muslim extremists, as they phrase it, people who want to actively harm this person, they have felt the need to get the police involved, but not only that, they have made the choice to completely and utterly remove most of their content from their channel. Like, pretty much all the videos have now gone. This person isn't going to talk about issues within the Pakistani Muslim community anymore. It's just not even going to touch it, precisely because of death threats from certain Muslims. Now, that annoys me. And it annoys me because I don't like thinking that people have that amount of control over someone. And I've watched this person's content for many months now, and this person actually even reviewed a video I made, and I thought it was a good review. And this person, to me, comes across as sincere, and in this response video, you'll learn some things about this person that I think is quite upsetting. I won't beat about the bush anymore. I'm talking about the YouTube channel Candid with Lubna, someone who lives in the UK, who has a YouTube channel, talks about issues pertaining to the Islamic community, or at least they did talk about issues pertaining to the Islamic community. She was born in the UK, but her parents are from Pakistan originally, and I think her grandparents are actually from India. And she's a very level-headed person. She is not a Christian, sadly, although she empathizes with the state of the UK. She calls out what she calls as bad apples within the Muslim community. I think she does a great job of it, and I want to go through some of her live stream because I think other people need to know about it. I think it's disgusting, but I want you to see this because it really got to me. I'm not gonna lie, it really did. Let's watch the video.
Oh my god. So guys, I have just scheduled this live on YouTube last minute, so I'm not expecting anyone to join me. Literally just scheduled this now. And I thought I wanted to give you guys an update on the situation. So some of you guys may have noticed that across both of my YouTube channels, I have taken down videos, the majority of the videos. And my life is basically at risk. I'm gonna cut to the chase. My life is at risk. I've taken my videos down on both of my channels. I've just left literally a few of them. And I'm still shaking from last night's experience. I've involved the police, and I can't share everything with you guys for obvious reasons, because it's not just my supporters watching this. It's everybody else, the whole world, and they don't necessarily have the best interest. So I am shaking still. I've had a very sleepless night, and this will be an emotional live.
So I've never actually spoken with Lubna, and I was actually hoping I would get the chance to at some point. Maybe that'll happen, maybe. But she's not polemical. She's very level-headed. She listens to every view. She's had Christians on her channel. I saw a live stream where she had a Christian on, explaining the gospel to her. I've seen atheists and Muslims on her channel, Jews on her channel, everyone from every kind. And is probably one of the best people to do this, actually. In all honesty, like from watching the content, I thought she did an amazing job, and she's gone from level to level, success to success. And it was such a shock to me this morning to see that it turns out she's been getting death threats from certain members of the Muslim community simply because she's critical of certain practices and certain aspects of that community. It's not even about the belief itself. I mean, I would go further and tie it to Islam. You guys know my view on that. I make a distinction between Islam and Muslims. I will say Islam is responsible, but Muslims are human beings created in the image of God, so I don't tar them with the same brush. She is even more tepid than I am, and says, I'm not even going to say it's Islam, I'm just going to say it's certain issues in the community that Muslims face, and there are bad apples and there are good apples. She makes that very clear, and she's always been fair.
So when I started this YouTube channel, I wanted a YouTube channel. I wasn't sure what I'm going to speak about. And as most YouTubers, I slowly started experimenting with different subjects. But all the subjects that I was speaking about wasn't what I wanted to speak about. And then I started speaking about what I really, really wanted to. And then I was surprised that people want to hear my voice and they are interested as well. And then I built a community here. I've done public lives with you guys. A lot of you guys have been my supporters for a long time. And I think, we've built something good here that is positive. The intent has always been good. It's to unite people. Sadly, the tolerance levels within the community, the Muslim and Pakistani community, is generally very, very low. We all know this. So although my intentions were good, I was calling it the bad apples only, not the good ones. I never said anything bad about the good ones, of course, because they're good. I was talking about the bad people, and I was condemning it because I felt as if, do you know what? Maybe people think all of us are like this because I was listening to the feedback, and the feedback was we're not condemning it enough. And that's all I was doing. I've never ever criticized a religion. I've never done any of that kind of stuff. But sadly, because the type of people I'm trying to get through to, they have low tolerance. And I think maybe even intellectually, they're not necessarily ready for what I have to offer. I don't think it's worth it for me. I think I've done my part, and I've tried my best to unite people. I've tried my best to be a bridge between the different communities. The psychology is very different. I've tried my best. That's all I could say.
If you imagine you've just had the police come around, you've been getting what seems to be legitimate, concerning threats from people that they're going to do things to you, I think that's horrific, and I think that's absolutely disgusting. She then goes on in this next bit to talk about what she was hoping to do, and yeah, just watch this bit.
Although I did want to stick it out for this year, my son wanted me to get 100k subscribers. He wanted me to get the YouTube button. But, I was like, the experience that I've had last night, where I had to call the police, and again, I can't give details. I can't continue talking about the stuff that I talk about. And frankly speaking, I don't want to. I think it's been very clear to me the last couple of years, as my age is increasing, that I've outgrown the community that I'm from. I've outgrown them. Okay, I'm not saying that they're bad. They're amazing people, fantastic. I wish them good luck. I wish the Pakistani community good luck. I wish the Muslim community good luck. I feel that within me, I've had a battle for a long time. And frankly speaking, I've outgrown my community. So I've done my part trying to help be a bridge and all that kind of stuff. But if they don't appreciate it, if they don't want to hear, anything from me, then there's no point of me continuing with this, especially when my life is at risk. There are people that think it's okay to harm someone, even though I haven't done any blasphemy. Then I've never criticized a religion. Even then, they just, they don't necessarily feel that I should have a voice and say what I'm saying. So what I'd like to tell these people that I'm out. I'm not going to be talking about the Muslim community, the Pakistani community. I wish you guys good luck. Stop trying to come after me and harm me. I'm a single parent.
She's a single parent who's doing YouTube for a living, by the way. She goes on to talk about how she actually left a job that was very well paying to do YouTube full time, only for the very community that she's a part of, a very community that she's from, like her heritage, is more from an Islamic background than it would be from a Christian background, coming from Pakistan and before that India. And she's saying, look, I feel like I've outgrown this community. I can't even stay here because there's too many people in this community that actively want to do stupid things like harm her and send her death threats. That to me is disgusting. Like, honestly, like I woke up and I watched this and I was moved. And that's why I'm making this video, in all honesty. I didn't have any intentions of doing this. But as soon as I saw that live stream and I heard what she's been going through, and the fact that she's deleted all these videos, and the thing that she's struggling, I thought, nope, I'm not. I thought, nah, I'm not going to do nothing with that. That bothers me, and it bothers me a little bit too much. So that's why I wanted everyone to see this. I want you all to see what has happened here to a single mum who hasn't done anything. Like, the most level-headed, mild person in the world, and she's even from this community. She's addressing it with sort of 1 foot in, 1 foot out kind of thing, and she's trying to build bridges in the least offensive, least controversial way you possibly could, and yet that is too much. And the reason why is because she's just critical of a community's practices. That's it. She's even from the community. She wants the community to do better. But every time she points at something in the news, like, hey, is this a problem? The community can't tolerate it. And I find that shocking, very telling. And I'm just sad. Like, imagine threatening a single mum because she didn't share your political views. Like, I find that this stupidest thing, in all honesty. There's no way you can justify that. The lowest of the low, to go after a single mum and go after her livelihood. It's not even her own livelihood in terms of what she does to support her child and herself. They actually go after her physically because they want to physically harm her. Lowest of the low, disgusting human beings.
And so I need to let these people know that I'm not going to be making the content that I was making. I'll talk about, I'm not saying I'm not going to be on YouTube. I will be on YouTube, but I'll just talk about general topics, general stuff. You know, I'll give less of my opinion. I'll talk about general stuff. So there's stuff that I don't talk about on this channel because obviously everyone's watching. I've said that my critics watch as well. Around 6-7 months ago, I had to make a decision between my job, which was high paying, and this channel. My employer gave me a decision. It's the channel or it's the job. And I chose the YouTube channel. Because they had a policy at their workplace not to have like a social media presence, etc. So I had to make a decision. And although it was a high paying job, I left my high paying job to continue on this journey. And it doesn't pay that much. For those of you guys who are thinking, oh, are you getting money? Yeah, I'm getting money, but it's not paying as much as my job. Okay. I'm a qualified chartered accountant. I was on a high paying job, 6-figure package. I didn't need to do a YouTube channel, guys. It's a hard work. I was working and I was doing this YouTube channel at the same time. So when I left my job, then I started the Hindi channel as well. Because frankly speaking, I needed the money. I'm a single parent. You know, I'm not getting money from anywhere else.
So I'm not monetized on YouTube, so I don't get money anyway. Well, at least not through ads, and not the main way that people on YouTube would get money. But just so you know, unless you're like hyper successful on YouTube, you're not gonna get that much money, really. No, I mean, I would actually say it's probably not enough to live off in most cases, and that's the situation she's in. And again, she doesn't have a partner who can support her in this. So the fact that she left her job as, I think she said she was an accountant, a particular kind as well, I think a chartered accountant. Imagine making content for a community you're a part of, that your heritage is from. You gave up your high-paying job to do that, and you did it full-time. You did this content creation full-time. It takes a lot of time. For those of you who aren't creators in any sense, making YouTube videos is actually a lot of work. It's a lot of time, a lot of effort. So you really need to be motivated to do it. You need to be motivated to set up the right equipment, to dedicate your time, all this sort of stuff. And as a single parent, I mean, that would be, I can't imagine how difficult that is, especially if you're trying to make a livelihood from it. Only then, for the very community that you were trying to make these videos for, that you were trying to, hey guys, look at this bad thing that our community, like some people in our community have done. Maybe we should address this. Maybe we should call it out and move forward in a better direction. Only to have those people in that community turn around and you say, no. Not only are you not going to say that, and we're going to reject you, we're going to call you every name under the sun, we're going to then threaten you with threats serious enough that you actually call the police because of them, because you're actually afraid for your own safety. I mean, bleeding heck, a single mum, you don't have anyone there, even if someone does come around your house. That's horrible. It really is.
I've tried my best to bring people together to be a bridge. But sadly, what this community hears is something else. What I'm saying and what they're hearing is completely different. So when they have when they don't want me to help them, there's no point of me putting my life at risk. There's some people who are trying to harm me. They're trying to harm me. And of course, I did call the police last year with online threats, but this time, where people are trying to, I believe they have found me. Okay, I believe they know where I live. And there's something that's happened last night where, which I can't talk about. The police came to my house. And I need to move, basically. I need to get out of here. So I wish these people good luck.
She believes that they actually know where she lives. That is terrifying. So not only is she going to be experiencing financial difficulties from the fact that she's feeling, again, because this is just coming from a community that she's a part of, that she's trying to help, actively trying to suppress her, making her feel like she has no choice but to get rid of her own videos on her own channel, which means don't make any more videos, no income, no livelihood, no providing for her own child. And on top of that, because she's feeling threatened because they know where she lives, at least this is the impression she's got, she's feeling she has to move. So now she's going to have to figure out how to move her and her child out of their home and somewhere else to get away from extremists from the Muslim community who want to harm someone who is more milquetoast than I am. So, like, I'm trying to figure out where to cut this video, because I'm just going through a whole video and I'm just watching the entire thing because I don't feel there is anything I can cut out of it. Every part of this is just more revealing of the story that she's telling about how her own life is being ruined by a small group of people that want to go out, fight for the Ummah, defend the honor of their prophet in any way, and anyone who's perceived as even mildly being a threat. They're not even directly attacking Islam, they're just somewhere adjacent to it. That's enough. Doesn't matter if they're a woman, doesn't matter if they're a single mum, doesn't matter if that's their livelihood, they'll go after them anyway. Despicable human beings. People like that need to be held accountable for the things they do. Keir Starmer, where you at?
And I don't care. It's for the people who are like, oh, you're doing al-taqiyya, or we're not going to support you anymore. I'm sorry, but if you don't give a shit about my life when I'm a single parent, and if you're talking about, oh, the extremist one, well, then good luck. Why don't you open a channel, show your face, show your name, and you open the channel. You do what I've done. The fact is, very few people can do what I have done. It takes guts, okay? I thought I can do something positive. The reason why from this community, lots of people, a lot of you guys complain, why are more people not coming out from this community? Why are they not condemning? This is the reason why. You're the first to get attacked. In our Western minds, this is no reason to kill someone. But sadly, the psychology of some of the people that we're dealing with is the tolerance is so low. Like, in their minds, you've done enough that they can take your life. Like, they will justify it.
I completely agree. I think that's totally spot on. Many people outside of this community who aren't Muslims in any way, who aren't from Pakistan or from Afghan or Bangladesh or anywhere like that, wonder why in the UK there isn't more active, I guess, criticism about certain things, one of the best things that Muslim communities in the UK could have done when the grooming gang stuff was being talked about, I mean it still is today, is to actively gone out and protested. Just to make their voices heard and to be like, we find this despicable, this shouldn't be happening. But there is a huge reluctance to do that. Lubna is right. This is why people don't come out more. It's because when people do come out, other people see it as a perceived attack on the community, and they're prepared to do really stupid and insane things to someone of whom does not deserve it, purely because they feel they're protecting their community. Which is also sad, because their community, if they're in the UK, should be with the English. They should perceive themselves as being perhaps not English in the sense they have a long history of coming from kind of like a English ancestors, but at least they're English in terms of their values, their mindset, their commitment to the country, wanting to make a unified, supportive place to live based in Western values. But when they attack their own Muslim people in their own communities for just talking about issues, it tells you, one, they're not prepared to talk about the issues, and two, they think that their community, it's not with the English, it's not in the UK, it's not with the people that they live with, the people that they see as broader society. It's only with the people down the mosque. It's only with the people who come from the same places before they came to the UK, which is sad.
Especially the Hindi channel. I've worked so hard. There were people trying to, like other YouTubers, trying to bring down my channel. So I was putting so much effort. The guests that I've brought on that channel are A-list guests. Now, considering that I'm not even Indian, and I'm a small YouTuber, the fact that I was even able to get those kind of guests, people can see how hard I was working. Okay, I've been working my ass off, interviewing people, doing public lives, doing reaction videos, making my own content. I tried my best. My life is at risk, guys. I'm sorry. So whoever's watching this, if you're one of the extremists who are trying to come after me, I'm not interested in talking about this community. I'm not interested in talking about Pakistanis or Muslims anymore. I just wish you guys good luck. I'm not going to be talking about this stuff. I think I've outgrown the community, and I think you guys you're at your own pace. Okay, the reason why I've outgrown the community, and I'm not trying to demean them in any way, is because it's not just because I've studied. Okay, because other people have studied and they're still radicals. It's because of my upbringing that my mother and my parents were not radicals. You know, they weren't that extreme. And also because I've traveled and I've got critical reasoning skills. I think for myself, okay? Very few people, we all think that we think for ourselves, but we're all indoctrinated.
I like what she says here about how she's been able to kind of escape her own upbringing from her own sort of ingrained, brought up perspective. And we all have that. We're all brought up with certain beliefs that our parents teach us, that, you know, some of us are brought up Christian, some of us are brought up atheists. I was brought up an atheist. Some of us were brought up Jewish or Muslim. She was brought up from a Muslim background from her parents, but then because she's both educated and because she's traveled, and I think that's actually a really big key there, she's gone places and seen actually what a different place is like. I actually wonder if I'm guessing she's been to Pakistan, right, where her parents are from. Maybe she's been to India and other places, and compared some of these countries with England and thought, hang on a sec, in the West, it's a totally different way of doing things than from Pakistan or other places. So she's had the freedom of being able to see both sides and decide which place has greener grass, I guess you could say. Which place is a more tolerant society, not in an extreme tolerance sense, but in a people actually have the power to get along without killing each other, without hurting each other, and contribute to everyone's lives and bring others up, because you have your community where you're able to support one another, even if they look different from you. Because you're not obsessed with how they dress. You're not obsessed with whether or not someone's got their hair covered or whether someone's correctly fasting or not. But you can look at bigger issues.
Yes, I would like the extremists to know, fantastic, you've won. Okay, good luck. Please don't come after me. I'm a single parent. I don't have money right now. I left my job to build these YouTube channels. I really genuinely thought I'm doing something good. Okay? Now, if you guys don't appreciate or whatever, you guys think you can take someone's life when I'm trying to help. My supporters kept saying, criticize Islam, criticize Islam. I never criticized Islam. I said my whole entire family is Muslim. I never did anything, but still you guys have such low tolerance. The problem is, when you say something where you're trying to improve the community thinks you're the enemy. And then anyone who's outside the community, who's not a Muslim, who's not Pakistani, they also see me potentially as an enemy because they think I'm Muslim Pakistani, right? So you get bashed from both sides. Both sides get bash me. And I've always tried to keep a balance. I've always tried not to pander to anyone's views. I've always tried to do that kind of stuff. The fact is, I know that my voice was a powerful voice, okay? Although I didn't need to criticize anyone's religion to make my point. And that's what they can't stand as well. They can't stand that I haven't done any, like, stuff.
And she's totally right. She hasn't really criticized Islam in a sort of outspoken way. I can imagine the kind of situation she's in. She's making content to try and address the issues of her community, but from a way that isn't totally condemning that community, but trying to give a way out, which is to be better, to stop doing practice A and start looking at things the West does. If you're in England, look at the English, look what they do, right? If you're in the UK, maybe look around, maybe they do things better. Maybe we shouldn't do this, we should do this instead. And nothing in that is inherently hurtful or overly criticizing or demeaning or anything. It's just sincere advice and her sincere opinion on what people could be doing better. And they can't go after her for, oh, you're just an Islamophobe, you do XYZ. She's like, no, I've got one foot in this community, I've got one foot out of this community, I'm trying to build bridges, but you guys don't want me to build the bridges because I was going to say you're trying to blow up the bridges. That might be a bit tongue-in-cheek. But you get my point. She's trying to build bridges, but there are people out there who are actively trying to stop her for doing that in the most evil of ways.
I just thought I'll come live because I don't want to sit there scripting stuff or redoing it, whatever. This is, it is what it is. My life is at risk. The police is involved. And I've changed so much things in my life to continue this channel that you can't even understand because I don't talk about it. I don't talk about the stuff because there's people, like I said, listening who criticize me. It's not even just critics. I can handle critics, but there are people that think it's okay to take my fucking life, for God's sake. It's not worth it. Seriously, it's not worth it. I wish the British native English people good luck. This is, your country, your ancestors, whatever, this is your heritage. They fought for this country. I've done my part. I'm sorry, I don't feel safe in this country. This is supposed to be UK. I'm supposed to feel safe here. I don't feel safe in this country. Where people think that they can get away with harming me because this is what's happened to this country's become so, we're just, anything can happen.
This to me has been eye-opening because I've always known that if someone sticks their head out from the crowd, they're going to get shot down by the rest of the Muslim community for daring to critique certain practices or certain ways of doing things. But I never thought I'd see such a clear example of it in just one video of someone's life that's in danger of being ruined, and she's now taking drastic steps to try and appease them, to try and salvage what she can, because a small minority of people didn't like the fact that she had a voice. That annoys me. That very much annoys me. Not only that, but these lovely Muslim gentlemen, because I'm pretty confident they're gentlemen, who want to abuse women who are single mums by being internet armchair warriors, crybaby jihadis that are man enough to even control their own feelings, actually start sending her threats during this live stream. They did that. They really did.
This time I was like, you should not be carrying this burden on your own. It's too
Can I just say, I've just read in the private chat, someone's giving me death threats. But they're not going to come on stage. So, repent to Islam, Lubna, surrender, and take back your slander and lies about Muslims. What slander and lies about Muslims? Every fucking video is titled Pakistani, this Paki. that Paki, this, you're a racist, dirty pig, and you got what you deserve. You should say sorry to all Muslims and Pakistanis. And then this person says, retarded bitch, you deserve to die for supporting Israel war on children. I've never supported Israel's war on children. I bet you will never tell a lie about Pakistanis ever again. LOL. Little kafir pig, you are a liar. You helped the Zionists and EDL. I haven't helped the Zionists and EDL. I've never gone to a protest. I don't know Tommy Robinson. With all your Zionist friends on YouTube, you helped them wage war on kids in Gaza. I haven't done anything. I don't know what you're talking about. I've always condemned it. I hope these Pakistanis in the UK slap the fuck out of you. Yeah, don't talk ever again. You trouble causer, you Zionist pig. Thank God you're crying. You made a lot of children in Gaza cry. What are you talking about? I've got nothing to do with Gaza. I've never supported any kind of war. So this is ridiculous. And then another person, LOL says, Lubna, you live in the UK. There is 10,000 of Pakistanis and Muslims, and all you have done is lie about them for the past 1 year. And did you expect what's going to happen to you? And then you invited Zionists on your channel who promoted deaths of children. Please don't act all innocent. Now you have blood on your hands. Oh my God, my channel is open to everybody. Muslims have come on my channel as well. Jewish people come as well. Christians come as well. Atheists come as well. Hindus come as well. Sikhs come as well. So this is what I'm saying. What the reality of what I've done and what they see is, oh, Jewish person is here. Israeli is here. Okay, that's it. You know, like, it's completely crazy. All the Muslims that support my channel, they don't see that. When I condemn any kind of war on both sides, and they don't see that. They just, it's completely. Then this person goes on to say, blood on your hands, Lubna. What are you talking about? You better shut your mouth now. Keep your mouth shut, Lubna. You don't live in Israel. You live in the United Kingdom of Islam. You won't get away with mocking dead babies. And I've never mocked dead babies in Gaza. Are you completely crazy? It's just like, I'm just like shocked. This is exactly why I don't even want to continue with this life. They're completely crazy people. I have never I've never mocked children's death in Gaza. That's the most stupidest, crazy thing someone can make up about me. That's just stupid.
Something that stood out to me was one of them said, "You've got blood on your hands." You see, this is what people do when they're internet keyboard warriors with no spines, is they'll say things that aren't directly threatening, but you know what they're getting at. And this is kind of the stuff that they'll say. They'll say things like, you're responsible for X, Y, and Z. And oh, did you know there's like a lot of Muslim brothers and sisters around you? Very, like, lots of men in particular, tens of thousands. And you live in the UK, we know you do. And they start like hammering this up because they want critics of all shapes, colors, sizes, degrees to feel threatened. And I think that's absolutely disgusting. They threaten their own they threaten people from their own communities. Imagine doing that. Imagine, like, I'm gonna say it. I'm just saying I'm gonna say it. I find that to be kind of cultish. You know, like, if I was part of a group where if I critiqued them, they would send me death threats. Like, I know it's not everyone, you know, it's not everyone at all. Most people are fine. But if there were some people that would do that, and there was this blanket silence from everyone else to do anything about it, I'd feel like there's something going on here. Like, I shouldn't be a part of this community because the community won't actually accept criticism. It only accepts constant praise. Whenever someone steps out, they have a funny habit of being silenced and not speaking or just going away somehow. I think that's a cult. I'm just being honest. You know, I don't say it because it's like a provocative term. I say it because I actually think that's one of the ways you would identify a cult, if you cannot be critical of the community in any real sense without facing repercussion and shunning. But what a load of absolutely disgusting people. And just to show just how terrified this woman is, who's done nothing wrong at all, not even come close to the line, wherever this line is. She's not even approaching it. She's 1,000,001 miles away, in her home, looking after her child as a single mom, trying to pay the bills. But some jihadi, some wannabe jihadi John, decides that he clutches at his pearls, and he decides it's a good thing to start threatening a single mom. So much so that she actually removes a guest off the live stream because these people that are sending her these death messages in the backstage, so like when you're doing a live, you can have guests on and there's like a backstage but people can type stuff. These Muslim extremists who are typing stuff, these Islamists, are complaining that the guest that she has on is too Jewish. So she kicks her out to appease the mob.
Yeah, no, they just making things up at this point.
It's okay. I'm gonna have to take you off the stage because they see you as someone who's Israeli Jewish, and they're coming off trying to come after me for some stupid reason. It's fine. I'm just gonna go now. Like, I can't. I've screenshot your messages, by the way. This is the mentality. I've never said anything bad about Gaza, for God's sake. Jesus Christ, seriously. It's just completely... I'm just gonna go, guys, okay? Just gonna go because I've never said anything like that. Sadly, what I've done and what they hear is completely different. And I think that no amount of communication, reasoning, they're not gonna understand, okay? Anyway, so what I'd like to say is I wish these people well. I wish the Pakistani community well. I wish the Muslim community well. Good luck. I'm not going to bother talking about you guys again. But making up lies, dangerous lies, it's very, very, like, you know, well, I don't know why you're making stuff up. I've never said any of that stuff that you're saying. Anyways, good luck, guys. That's it. I'm going bye.
And she ends it. And that's it. So let's look at her channel. Her channel is Candid with Lubna. She also has another channel which is Evolve with Lubna. I didn't know about that one. I only knew about Candid with Lubna. She has 80,000 subscribers. She had a ton of videos. Let me show you. Let me switch to my other screen. Let me show you. She now only has 27 videos. 27 videos. She's deleted pretty much everything as far as I can tell. In fact, there isn't even a videos option here for me. I can still see shorts. And I can still see this live that I showed you guys right now. So we can look at her community posts and you can kind of see the sort of stuff she was talking about. Nothing in this even remotely is questionable or anything. Like the latest post she put here, look, I have involved the police and have decided to stop my activism. So we'll no longer discuss the topics I was discussing. I may keep a limited online presence to speak about general news and life, etc. I'm proud of the community we built here. But I'm a single parent and my safety and children are the priority. We'll keep in regular touch so you all know I'm okay. Keep me and my family in your prayers, please. Again, before that, literally one day ago, before she had to contact the police, I assume, more good apples from the Muslim Pakistani community. I think the progressive Muslims are ready for positive social reform. And then he goes on to show this. You are doing fantastic work. As a British Pakistani myself, I pray for the UK and see the threat of Islam and rise up by carrying out peaceful but effective and persistent protests, being a responsible voter, dismissing secularism as it promotes anti-British values, being a strong Christian to promote Christian British values, aim for parliamentary positions to head the country back to its path and former glory. Again, this is pro-English, pro-UK, a respect for native views, it's a respect for Christian values. Again, what's she doing here? She's just quoting, look. Again, she's just saying, look, I'm really happy about the effect I'm having with people. I mean, look at this. Hi, Lubna. How can I contact you directly? I've been involved with the religious Muslim community for 37 years and consider myself one of them too. But the hypocrisy, the hate, the intolerance, the holier-than-thou attitude, I'm just absolutely sick of it. I don't see all your videos, but what I've seen so far is true and it's all correct. We need to be called out for the BS and we are hypocrites 100%. Now, Lubna, I know you're not a Christian, but you are a sincere person who I've enjoyed watching your content, and I think you're sincere and seeing the difficulties that you're in as a single parent with a child and having to support that child with Muslim extremists actively trying to hurt you, or at least claiming to. I want to help because I just feel that, hey, I have a platform and I feel like you're someone who I would very much like to help. Now, I was going to set up my first thought actually was to set up some sort of GoFundMe, but then I saw this post here. Let's go to the top. So I've just checked in your last post 5 hours ago. You said that you've set up a GoFundMe page. So here's Lubna's GoFundMe page. There's the QR code if anyone's on a computer and they want to take a picture of it. So here's the actual GoFundMe page so far. Let me refresh. 1,500. Now, if we read the description here, she says, my life has been threatened by Islamic extremists. I need the funds urgently to relocate and provide a safe and secure place for my children as a single parent. Every bit helps. I, for one, am a big fan of demonstrating that people can't be successful by bullying and sending people death threats, hoping to deter them from doing what they actually want to do, especially when it's the most level-headed criticism you could imagine. And it's obvious things. It's things that even people within the Muslim community in the UK can agree with is messed up and needs to change. Most of the people who watch my channel are Christian. I think that Lubna is someone who, as a single mum, who relies on YouTube for money, which is not a lot, by the way. Really, it's not a lot. And she's had to make another YouTube channel to try and raise additional income, who's had that taken away from her, seemingly overnight because of death threats to her and her family. I'm not going to tolerate that, and the best way I can help is by making this video and encouraging people to donate to her GoFundMe so that she actually has some income so she can relocate. She says in a GoFundMe page she actually needs the money to relocate from her own home because she needs to move. She says in the video the police have told her, hey, you probably want to think about getting out of here if people know where you live. I would ask guys whether you're like me and you're a Christian and you live in England, or maybe you're not Christian and you don't live in England. It doesn't matter. I think what matters is that we help someone who genuinely tried to do a good and sincere thing. Valid criticism against the Muslim community is a positive thing, and I've always supported that. More conversations, not less conversations. More level-headedness, not death threats, not jihadi johns everywhere, but good quality conversations. And Lubna has, for the time that I've been watching her content, has always been about that. So I want to encourage her, and that's why I'm going to donate. So let's do that now. So 1,500 has been raised. I think we can do a lot better than that, and I'm going to help. GoFundMe services has 0%. GoFundMe continue offer the service option amount here. I'm going to say no, because I'm evil like that. I don't want to give GoFundMe any money. I want this to go to Lubna. I'm going to have to hide my card details, so please do remind me. if that's available in this video, please do tell me. I need to get them cut down. I actually don't know if you can see this either. There we go. So guys, if you are in a position where you can help Lubna, I very much encourage you to do so. And finally, before I end this video, because I don't actually have a way of contacting you at the moment, Lubna, if you do want to reach out and have a chat, I'll do whatever I can to raise awareness of your GoFundMe and try to help in any way I possibly can to support you. Anyway guys, thank you for watching. Let's hope Lubna can get somewhere safe and that she's financially supported. And God bless you all, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.